we experienced a lot of similarities and struggles growing up. Like our fathers being sick while we were growing up, so we had to do the extra. Actually, both our mothers are twins and things like that. So we experienced a lot of similarities. And actually, one of the things that I learned from my leadership training today was that a lot of advisors or people that you relate to or you disclose a lot of things with, 9 times out of 10 they share a lot of values with you, they share a lot of struggles, they share a lot of similarities with you. So it was the same thing with me and my woman, and that creates that space for vulnerability, because when I come to her, I can be myself the way I am with her. A lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't see that in the public eye. I sometimes come in, I'm sitting here singing a lot. I can't sing worth a damn, but it just creates that space for me to just be myself, towards her and whatnot. And I think that's what creates that vulnerability in Black men. Like, you have that safe haven with this woman where a lot of things that people don't know about you, your Black woman knows. So that creates that space to be very vulnerable to them. You know what I'm saying? So
especially with fears, I feel like a lot of times, like we probably won't tell our homie what make us as fearful as we would our woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it means me personally, like, it's certain things that I can speak to my homie about, but as far as my fears, like things that I think about that make me toss and turn at night, like, it's like I can only share that with my lady. So yeah, I that space is incredible when you have it, and it's something that most men, if you can have, it's, you can see they benefit from it for sure. But what you think about it, my brother Charles? How you feel?
But yeah,
man. How you brothers doing, man?
Yeah, this is Charles, everybody. Charles, is Rob, Kyle, Mercedes. I think Jimmy gonna be in a few seconds. So yeah, Charles, we were in this conversation talking about why Black men love Black women, and before we continue with our conversation, we would love to see your thoughts on why Black men love why you love Black women yourself.
Okay. Well, man, I mean, y'all can continue on, and I just kind of listen in and formulate a few thoughts, man, as y'all go along, man. But I mean, just honestly, just off the top of the dome, to answer the question why I love Black women, I mean, was birthed by a Black woman, man, and so, I mean, that's just off the top of why, man, I was birthed by one, and Black women are just beautiful, and God created them that way, man, and they've been the backbone since day one, you know what I'm saying? And that, I mean, it's just so much, man. But y'all keep going, man, and I'm gonna jump in, man. Just let me formulate a few thoughts.
And I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
My brother ready to lift off, man. I see that. I feel that. You ready to lift off?
Yeah, it used to be a kid.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Mercedes, you had another question that you wanted to ask.
Yeah, I got a comment, and it's just like, as a Black woman, especially one who has had Black men be prominent in my life, like Rob, you already know, like, I'm a huge daddy's girl. Like, when it comes to like Black men in my life, I'm an advocate. Like, don't say nothing wrong about Black men for me. Like, it's like, hold on now, no. But I could honestly say I really enjoy this, and I'm really glad that we're having this opportunity to have this, because like I was telling Jimmy, and like I was telling Rich when we had previous conversations, social media, I'm on social media all the time, like for my job and other things, but I had seen a post that stated how Black women are facing 3 pandemics. And one of them, it said, we're facing the COVID-19, we're facing racism, and then it says we're facing Black men. And y'all, that rubbed me so wrong. Like, I was on Facebook arguing with people, arguing with family members. I was just like, this is absolute like BS. Like, this is ridiculous. How you gonna sit up here and call Black men a pandemic? And I'm like, this is exactly how the media manipulates Black men and Black women against each other. Because we see, and I'm pretty good, sure you guys have seen it, Black women supporting Black men all the time, like on the media. But what they don't show you is when Black men are advocating for Black women. Things like this that are going on. And me being like how my life has been, that's all I've ever seen. That's all I ever know is Black men showing Black women love, Black men advocating and protecting Black women. Like, I don't know that unfortunate narrative that, you know, other people may have experienced. And I mean, I'm grateful for that. And it was just like, you know, I understand that there have been some experiences that Black women have dealt with Black boys, and having to explain the difference between a Black man and a Black boy. They're completely different. That's the difference between a Black girl and a Black woman. You have a different level of maturity. You have a different level of experience. There are different things that you're going to encounter. And I'm just so grateful for y'all taking the time out to do this and being able to express, you know, the love and the expression and your experiences with the Black women in your life, because this is something that we don't see. And in a world where Black men are being, like I was telling y'all earlier, where Black men are being targeted, it's not this whole, I feel like the world paints Black men as having this Luke Cage syndrome. Like, you're inhumane. You're not allowed to show your emotions. You're not allowed to be human. And then as Black women, we sometimes fall into that narrative. And it's like, hold on, this is a safe space. We're a safe spot. You can't fall into that. Like, at the end of the day, if a Black man knows he doesn't have anybody else, he knows that he has you. And conversations like this allow us to be comfortable with uncomfortable topics. So I just definitely want to encourage y'all to continue, not only, you know, this, but continue sharing your experiences and, you know, playing the role that you play with the Black women in your life. Because even though, you know, you may not get the appreciation right off the top, you may not be told every day, at the end of the day, we appreciate y'all. At the end of the day, like, you impact us in a way where it's like, I see, like, I'm weird, I ain't even gonna lie. I see Black men all the time and I'm like, that's what I want my son to be like. Like, I want those women, like, when I have my children, I want sons, because Black men are special in such a way that it creates a whole narrative that's so powerful. Like, you come from a Black woman and there's power in that. Like, you're born with a purpose. You're born being able to come in this world and in survival mode, literally. And like I said, I'm so grateful for y'all doing this. And
could we get a round of applause for all Black people and Black love? Could we just one time?
It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Like, Black love is something that's beautiful. I guess my next question is just, with everything going on now, how have you guys been able to learn more about your role within this world and within, like, your relationship? Like, what does that mean to you on a personal level? Like, what does it mean to you to be a Black man, and how did you learn that?
Good question.
You went deep with that question. All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta sit and digest that one, don't you?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Brace.
My bad, y'all, my bad.
You know,
I'll chime in. That's the type of combo we need.
I know, for me, you know, with everything that's going on around us in this madness, in this world, for me, as my role as first of all a godly man, and as a Black man as well, I felt like my role to be more of a protector has been heightened. you know, because not only am I married, you know, I have 3 daughters. So again, you know, I felt like with everything that's going on, you know, I feel like I have to be even more of a protector. I'm a protector. I'm very, you know, when my daughters were younger, my oldest is 21. And when she was younger, you know, in our church, at the time, I was the head of my youth department. And I was very of the young ladies because of, you know, the world that we live in. And the word tells us, you know, protect them in their innocence. I'm paraphrasing. And they labeled me overprotective. You know, they labeled me that. That's what my youth group at the time. This was several years ago. They labeled me. So to answer the question, I think, like I said, my level of protection has been heightened towards my wife and my daughters and all the women and, you know, youth around me that means so much to me. You know, even when I'm out and about with strangers that I don't even know, you know, I'm more alert and aware that I have to be more of a protector of people, of my people, particularly the women in my life and Black women, you know, not to minimize anybody else because, you know, as like I said, as a believer, you know, I can't be naive to think that we're the only people that's walking around. But right now, you know, our people, we need some extra attention. And so in a nutshell, that's where I'm at right now. I feel like, you know, I feel like I have to be even more of a protector and show more love, you know. And I've had a few things that's happened to me where I had to really have some hard conversations with my daughter. I have a 13-year-old as well, you know, and you know, it's really saying, okay, I feel like, yeah, man, you gotta take your game to another level, you know, where I just gotta be on point even more so. I'm already a vigilant person. I watch, you know, by nature, that's just how I am. So yeah, that's where I'm at this point.
Yeah. For me to answer that question, I feel like it's very much piggybacking off my brother, but I think it's a thing to show more fortitude within brotherhood, and that's been one thing that I've and just given the pandemic, just letting brothers know if you need something, I got you, and it's not necessarily no financial, but even anything emotional, like. Just creating a fortitude that I feel we have to have for our Black men in order to give to our Black women. You know, with us being at odds and so at war with each other, it makes it very difficult for our Black women to look at us and be like, those are our protectors. You see what I'm saying? And I like just how I've been moving with a lot of love, a lot of just kindness, just pure kindness, pure love, especially for the Black men, because you got a lot of just Black men that will come off aggressive, you know what I'm saying? But then they see your energy and it come off different, like their whole mood, attitude switch up. So like just in this pandemic, I know it's tight for everybody. Everybody kind of on edge. Everybody kind of had this thing edge about them. But like I say, I feel like trying to feel more fortitude within the brotherhood of Black men, feeling more bond between Black men. I feel like once we able to get that, I feel like once we be able to give it to our Black women and our children, and that will, in a sense, to me, push us further as a culture. But right now, just with everything, just with how Chicago going, it really throws you off balance sometimes. And it make you feel like, oh, the person that's supposed to stand with me seem like they're against me, you know. And we all know that's systematically designed that way. But at the same time, the crimes that are being committed are people that look like us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, it really is just going towards my brothers, the people that a lot of people don't want to speak to, that they rather wave off. Even a person homeless on the street, letting them know, hey, you You black, we in this together. You know what I'm saying? Just feeling that support and that brotherhood, just so we can give it to our women one day and our children. So
I love what both of you said about, essentially what it means to be a black man. I'm definitely hearing protector. That's one of the things that's very strong. I'm also definitely hearing that supporter, and what you said in the second one, Kyle. And that's definitely something that, two things that are highly important in the black community for black men to really touch upon. I think I would piggyback off that. And personally, what it means to be a black man is to be a motivator in my eyes, especially during these times. I think I speak for all of us right now. In these times, the odds are against us. And I'm trying. Just the system is essentially set up for us to fail sometimes. And that's something that we got to fight against it. Unfortunately, like, hey, we got to work twice as hard to get what we want sometimes. Black women as well, both of us, what I'm saying? We all got to fight as hard. I think I was actually, sad part too, is I was actually, I remember I've been working with my company for about 2.5 years right now, right? Of course, we're a diverse group, don't get me wrong. But one thing that was shocking that one of my employees told me that, Rob, I'm shocked that you still made it. A lot of people don't make it that far, and I kind of just, and it wasn't nothing against her, whatnot, but it just kind of just that motivation, like, it wasn't something that I didn't even take it as an insult. I took it as I'm proud,
breaking down doors.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking down barriers. Like, somebody is, absolutely shocked because I guess maybe that individual has seen people come and go, which I've seen individuals come and go too from that job. It's a hard knock life in that job or whatnot, but it kind of just gave me that sense of proudness. Like, man, I've been here for 2.5 years or whatnot, and somebody said, like, I'm shocked to still see you here because a lot of people come and go, again, even in this leadership training that I'm with in my level of trajectory in that company has tremendously grown. Like, I'm the only black individual in this league. I think you motivate through examples. You motivate through your experiences in life. So, like, these are two things that definitely, like, I can use as a motivation for for our black young men growing up. Sometimes, like, man, when the odds are stacked against you, you better climb up those odds and get over it. You know what I'm saying? And keep pushing, because that's one of the things that, I always use, in a sense. Like, sometimes the biggest thing is just, I always use my experiences to motivate people, because sometimes if you don't go through it, and if they're going through it, you can relate with them in a sense. If somebody's going through the struggles you went through as a black individual or whatnot, you can relate to them and tell them your storylines, and then giving them motivation to push further. So I think right now in this age, I think right now, my purpose in life, right now as a black man, is just to be that motivator to individuals who are going through hard times, and just reminding them that, look, tough times don't last, tough people do, and we're gonna keep getting through it. So, well.
So, in all the brothers talk, I heard protection, support, and motivation, and I agree with every single one of those, because, being a protector, it takes a lot to come off back to know that you not only have to protect yourself, but protect the ones that are around you, especially the ones you love, to support and be there and make sure you showing that support. That takes a lot, and to have motivation, that's a real key right there, because not everybody can have motivation and always have motivation. But as black men, we always have to seem like we have to have it together when it comes to that. So I agree with everything, and I want to just piggyback and put one more point in there. which would be, I don't know if this necessarily deals with sensitivity, but just having compassion a little more, just being a little more compassionate, being more sensitive to certain situations. Like before I got with Toy, I could say I didn't do too much crying about anything. It had to be really something messed up for me to cry, or me to be upset about anything, or to feel any type of emotion behind a certain subject or a certain thing. But now, since I've been with her and I've learned so much about how compassion works, I cry all the time. I'll be honest. I cry on a regular basis.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Yeah, I went to. I remember like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Let it flow.
And we went to Martin Luther King memorial, and poured down. I just broke.
Right.
And at first, I felt like a punk. Like, what am I crying for? What am I crying for? But I just felt that compassion in my heart, and I feel like it's a lot of pride that needs to be replaced with compassion, because
That's
that
real.
pride can get us into a lot of, excuse my language, it can get us into a lot of shit. You can tell just as Black men, going around the neighborhoods, going around the city, you see how that pride has like completely taken away a man's compassion and innocence. Just off GP of, man, you can look at a brother wrong, and they can see that you looking at them wrong, and it can go pop off, and that's just pride, as opposed to just, I think we need to have a little more compassion when it comes to each other. And because I think I honestly believe we lost it in a sense, because we always, like, in a way, we have to always be strong in a way, and not everything needs, being compassionate can be strong, but men don't understand the definition of compassion. And like I said, man, like before I was with my lady, you had to catch me on a real bad day to see me crying. Now I just cry like when I hear things or see things that I just know is not right. That I just, instead of just muscling and putting my pride in front and muscling and stomaching all that, I try to let it out as much as possible, because it makes me human. Honestly, it makes me human to have those. To have feelings. That's being compassionate. So something happens to any of you guys or the next man or kid or something, you supposed to feel that in a way. You shouldn't just stomach it. And I feel like as Black men, we need to start replacing, not to say that we shouldn't have pride at all, but it's some bad pride, and then there's some good pride. You know what I'm saying? We need to get rid of that bad pride and have a little more compassion. I think that's what's lost with us in a way, because we have to be so tough, and that pride, that pride elevates that strength in us. So I say all that to say that we have to be able to have more compassion and be comfortable with having compassion on different subjects or different things. Because compassion can be the key in fixing a lot of things. It can be the key of you fixing your relationship with your woman, or fixing a relationship with anybody for that matter. Just being able to have compassion, and with compassion comes understanding. So I just feel like as Black men, we gotta push for more compassion within ourselves. I don't know if I was rambling. I hope I wasn't rambling a little bit. I know I sometimes go off.
I like it.
I got one more question, because I know this probably this call gonna get wrapped up real soon. And I got one more question for the brothers. How can we show our love for women? How can we better show our love for Black women?
Wait, what was you say? The question is, how can we better show our love for Black women?
How can we show our love for Black women better? Like, you know,
Gotcha.
it's a lot of Black women who believe that Black men do not love them. And in certain ways, I definitely can understand where they can get that narrative from. So I just want to know what's the answer behind that. What can we as Black men do, as opposed to just saying that we love Black women? What can we do to show our love?
I'll give a quick answer to that. Well, like you said, there's you know, we've seen a lot of things over the years, and we've, you know, all of us have read in books or lived lives and had experiences as to, and I'm sure all of us have done some things in our lives that we're not proud of, you know, that was towards Black women, whether it was our mother, a sister, a woman, or whatever. But I think the one way we can, man, I mean, that's a huge, there's a lot of things we can do, but I think the biggest thing, man, is to just show them, just genuinely just love them, man, for who they are, you know, support them, you know what I'm saying, pray for them, you know, and just love them, you know what I'm saying, like they're supposed to be loved, you know. That's there's so many things, you know, and I think it's one of those things where it's unique to different people in different situations, man, because I think everybody on this call, you know, that's a man who loved Black women. I think the first thing I would, you know, go out on a limb to say is the biggest thing is, man, to just really love them, man, how they're supposed to be loved. You know, don't set any, you know, and commit ourselves to them like we're supposed to commit ourselves to them, you know. Nobody's perfect. We all understand that. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, man, you know, in a nut, that's, you know, just love them, man, and commit ourselves to them and treat them right. I mean, you know, I'm sure these other brothers gonna have something to add to it, man. But again, I'll say right off the top, man, just love them how they're supposed to be. Like, respect them. You know? Yeah.
Anybody else want to piggyback on that question? Or
yeah. This is good. This is a good one. How can we? You said better show our love for our Black women, right? I think one of the things definitely is showing that little appreciation. Again, whether it's you know what, with even that too, paying attention. Yeah. That's one of the that just popped up in mind right now. Paying attention, because when you know, when you and your Black woman are laying down having that talk, trust me, there are little clues, context clues that you can use. You know, take notes and stuff like that you can use to make them happy. You know, my Black woman, one of the things she's very family oriented, right? Absolutely family oriented. So I remember her birthday passed. Her birthday was, you know, was in March or whatnot. And basically we were planning to go to New Orleans, but when COVID hit, all that pretty much changed and canceled, right? You know, I was on the phone with her best friend, who's also here too right now. But I was on the phone with her best friend. We came up with a whole like surprise party and things like that and whatnot. And, you know, give praises to her best friend, because she pretty much did all the planning, and I was just giving a lot of money. But man, it was amazing. It was amazing to see her face. Like, I still have the video when, you know, we were going over to the party was planned at her, you know, her sister's house. We're going over there. She was thinking it's just a regular barbecue or whatnot. She opened the door, and then you see a group. I'm talking like 20, 30. I didn't even expect that turnout. You know, 20, 30 people. Literally, I still have the video. I will forever keep this video. 20, 30 people singing happy birthday to her, and she just loved it. You just saw her face, and it just lit up, like, and she literally just thanked me and appreciated me, because she said, man, I've never had anyone throw a surprise party for me like that, you know? So, you know, showing those little appreciations, paying attention, man, like, sometimes they just want something slight. Like I think you don't have to be, again, it doesn't always have something to do with money. You don't always have to, spend money or whatever. Of course, this situation I did, but I'll even give an example where you don't have to spend money. But in a situation, my girlfriend, she's into media production and things like this. What she went to school for, she upon running a company with Boss Fashion Firm with 2 other black women. She also does logos on the side. And again, she has a camera for pictures and things like that. She's into that heavily. And one of the things that she, we're laying down and she was just saying that, man, I wish I had a MacBook Air. For Christmas, I went and got her a MacBook Air. She just loved it so much. But even again, going off that, it doesn't have to be any material things. Pay attention to the little things,
That's right.
Always pay attention to the little things and capitalize on it. And that'll get you a long way, because they so much, you may not think it, but they so much appreciate it, man. Paying attention to the little things, just putting dinner on the table if need be or whatever. Just from hearing them say, man, I'm tired, can't even cook no more. And they come on, they see food and, nice little candle lit or something like that. Doesn't have to be, never expensive, but it's just paying attention and showing them that attention sometimes when, again, us black men can also be busy as well. So even taking the time to show them that attention as well is something that, is appreciated and gets you a long way, from their hectic day or whatever it is. So I think that's one of the biggest things to better love our black women, is just paying attention to their cores, their values, the things that, they love to do on a daily basis and things like that. And that'll get you a long way.
Okay, I feel you. Cal, you before we let Cal answer, I just want to let everybody know it's about 6:20 left on the time for the Zoom call. So Cal, if you want to just lay your thoughts out.
So, I don't know. Like, as of right now, I'm a single bachelor, but so I don't know about right now what I could do for my lady. But honestly, I think one thing we could do for all women, and I'm gonna speak for the younger gentleman, because you already, my man Charles, he what we want to be married and put together. I think it's really bringing that black power base back within the family. I feel that my generation has seen what broken homes have done, and I feel generations from past have seen what it's done. My greatest thing that I feel we can give to black women is asking for their hand in marriage, to be honest. And like both gentlemen said, I feel like that will create the generational aspect of, okay, this is how being brought up that way, like, okay, this is how we treat a woman. This, like, honestly, my mama was telling me to open doors, but a man wasn't. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't seeing it as much as I needed to. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these things, core things, she instilled because she know what a woman wants. But it's a difference when you see it as a young man and these things are emulated to you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like getting the black family back to where it was. We are a people that cherish monogamous marriage. Like it's been fact throughout slavery, throughout many different things. But I think what's the greatest thing about black people is being able to come in union and be one. I've seen a lot of people do it in the past. And I still love to see that old black couple that been married 30 years. It's just as possible. Right. And and like I say, man, I want to get on me one time. I only want to do it once, man. I want to do it once and it lasts forever.
Hear me? I feel you 100%.
Hey, look, hey, this is my plan, what I would like, so yeah, man, just getting back to the roots of the power bases. I feel like,
and I say 10 seconds, man. It's such a great thing to hear young brothers to say that, Because I know for me, from where I come from, I had that same, you know, thought process. I said, I want to do this thing one time. And, you know, it ain't easy. But if you stick with it, you know what I'm saying? Pray, you can do it, man. And so far, so good, man. I'm one time and I'm still going and I don't show no signs of slowing.
Hey, gotta clap it up for that one. Hey.
You gotta value it, man. Because honestly, I'm afraid of what happens when you don't honor your marriage. Because I done seen some people decline. You hear me?
Hey, that's real. Hey, that's real, man. That's a subject for another thing, man. But that's real right there, brother. That's real.
So man,
that's great to hear, man. Young brothers, man. You know, to want that for themselves as well, man. That just goes to show. If you got one, that means you got hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real.
100%, man. Hey, this was a good conversation, man. I really enjoyed it tonight, man. I thank y'all for, you know, coming on and giving y'all thoughts, man. Cause it, I don't know, Mercedes, what do you think as a woman? What did you take from this conversation?
I can honestly say,
when it comes to
learning a lot about Black men, most of what I've learned has come from, you know, my dad and my uncles. And my dad always says, if you want to know about men, you go to a man. Especially when it comes to Black men. And we as Black women, we have a bad habit of when we want to learn about Black men, or when we want to, you know, ask something, we go to other women. And this is a conversation that I'm glad that all of you are willing to do this, because not only for me as a Black woman to be able to hear these kind of things, but this is the kind of stuff that needs to be broadcasted, because it's like, as a woman, I can only think from my perspective, but y'all already know a woman's perspective is a complete 180 from a man's perspective. So I may have my assumptions, may have, you know, what I think, but at the end of the day, to hear Black men in my generation and older speak this way, this is stuff that I've been hearing from my dad's generation. So to hear this in our generation as well, not only does it give me hope as a Black woman, but it excites me, because it was like, okay, just like I thought that this narrative about, you know, how and the stereotypes of how Black men are, I mean, I already knew that wasn't true, because that wasn't what I experienced, but to hear it. And I think as a culture, we have to hear it, but we don't seek it. That's the thing. So things like this, you know, this whole campaign is just wonderful, because it's empowerment. And Rich, like I was telling you and Jimmy, this brings up conversations within a community that not only, you know, gives us insight, but it builds communal confidence. And that's something that we need right now. And I just love it. Like,
I like that.
Confidence.